Kein habateach yesh lemuvad menuchas hanefesh מהמטרידים, המסיכים הסדומי, בכל רגע. So this person's beteach has menuchas hanefesh, and the people that trouble him or upset him and that make him angry all the time. I mean, we're talking about there's two parts to the Bitachon. He says one advantage is, he says like a boxer who can make money on boxing, but there's another mile. He's a boxer himself. He says this way she has menuchas hanefesh. Shezeh rak tashlumin shel Bitachon. Not only is the payment of having Bitachon, but gedolim izois shu ikar b'dikar is hainu Derech Habitachon. Gam im yechsel from misrochov, liyasa chasorim reisa b'nafshay. He has a derech in his pocket. Even, I see I edited it a little bit. Even if he's sometimes missing something, but he has no problems with missing something. He has Bitachon in his pocket. He feels very confident about everything. A person has a large and established business. He's never upset if one day there are no customers, or there's less customers, or a snowstorm. He knows that in the end, Seif Kol Seif is going to come out with a big profit in the end. He knows his year's profit is going to be good. He misses a day. And it doesn't concern him the little bit of problem, a little bit of lack of customers that he has presently. Person has Derech Habitachon. He's not going to worry about it now he doesn't have it. And he never gets upset. He relies on this derech that is a secure derech. This derech of Bitachon is going to lead him to what's good for him in this world, and later after the world, believe sufik without any sufik. Why? Yan ki bedarkehu David b'makor hachayim, v'shorish hatzlachos. Because he's in his lifetime, he's attached to the source of life, the Rebbeinu Shalom, and to the root of all success, which is the Rebbeinu Shalom. So you see, the Bitachon is the person becomes mamish attached to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Ad sheyodeya he efsheloi lehetiv la'asmoi ayodei gilgul hasibas. To such a degree that he knows that he can't do any good to himself by whatever activities he undertakes. Yoiser won't be more good yamashe yagioloi toiva harbe ayodei derech habitachon. He's not going to be more good than if he just has Bitachon shaloi. V'adarab kol haruch hachaim shaloi masig rak b'darkei hanachayna. And as far as the ruach hachaim, as far as the joy of life and the drive of life, that's greatly improved because of going on the right derech. Rak al yoda muvtachu shetushlam kol she'os hachaim shaloi. And it's only through this that he knows that throughout life, all his problems will be solved. Mishiyesh derech habitachon yesh la'kol. The person has kind of the way of having Bitachon, he's kind of everything. Kol yom avu b'menuchas hanefesh, he's always calm, bli tairach, without trouble, v'omel hard work, v'bilbul hadas, without confusing thoughts. V'tur b'darkei shu derech hachaim. and he's sure about his derech that he has. He knows it's a derech HaChaim, it's the way of life. And he's living. Yeah. That's why there's a doubling in the pasuk. Baruch HaGever Shavdach B'Hashem, V'Hoy Hashem Evtachoi. What does that mean? Baruch B'Kol She'elos HaChaim Shaloi. He's gebenched all the questions of life, all the problems of life. Sheyasig HaKol B'li Omel V'Torach. V'Muftach B'Chayam HaChomri, and he's secure in the physical world, Chaya Ruach, and in the spiritual world Shaloi. Bal Yumoitzu Al Yodei HaShtadlus Asher Hechazik Asher Hezik Motzu B'Hem. They will not be shaken by the efforts, all these efforts which are weaken it. And he's never afraid of what will happen. Omnam. And that's true about Baruch. He's gebenched. Baruch Hashem V'Tach B'Hashem. Baruch HaGever V'Tach B'Hashem. Omnam Ha'ikru Hashem Naftichai. Hashem Miftachai. That Baruch Hashem is his trust. What does that mean? He has on whom to trust. He's been kind of the Baruch Hashem. He's been kind of trust. So Meli feels he has the Yad Hashem is with him. Umi shebeteach olav hu nitzchi u'mela b'tochen shloi hu kvar nitzchi. Once he recognizes that he's connected with the Baruch Shalom, so he's connected with the eternal. It's forever. And if he's well connected, so by being connected, his Bitachon is going to be forever. He's not afraid anymore of losing his Bitachon. Because he's properly connected to the Baruch Shalom, who's forever, so that flows back to him, the forever. Whoever trusts in him also acquires a degree of being eternal. And therefore his trust becomes nitzchi. He will never shake. Or ever become bottle in any way. Because in this way he's never impressed by things that happen. Even things that shake the whole world. And had bent down the high places. Because this way he has is stronger than anything that's strong. With the Kabu Shina we call Dovish Boilam. And it's never changed. Nothing in the world can change it. Now, he speaks here in a very philosophical sense. You have to understand, what he's saying is that you have to understand what it means to be B'Teach B'Hashem. Till now we spoke about the advantages that come to you from being B'Teach Hashem. Spoke about the advantages that come from being B'Teach Hashem. Nuchsa Nefesh, security, safety. People are afraid b'chalal. Because they're afraid, there's a business called the insurance business. There's a company that must have bribed the city of New York. They send out notices that you should insure your sewer line. It's only $12 a month. Then another company sends out that you should insure your water line. So it's only $12 a month, something like that. And then we just got another one. You should insure your gas line. You know that your gas line might break. Your sewer might break. Your water line might break. And these things are under the ground. And the house was built in 1935. And it hasn't broken from 1935 till 2017. But it might break tomorrow. You never know. Only $12 a month. times 12, $144 a year. I mean, I shouldn't be nervous. When I go to bed at night, I'm concerned my sewer line might break. I saw the contract. I didn't take the insurance, by the way. I saw the contract. It's not exactly that they cover for you, but you can call them 24 hours a day. That much is true. They answer the phone. And they don't clear blockages. So if somebody sees what young babies are mistakenly throws a pamper down and flushes it down the toilet and blocks up the sewer, they don't clear blockages. What do they do? It's hard to know. They don't clear this, they don't clear that. Exceptions to the rules, It comes out there might be something or other that has benefit to it. But how do they sell that, Mishigas? And the city sends it out. The city gets money and sending it out, Mr. How do they sell that? I mean, the sewer hasn't broken, since they put it in. Maybe it'll break tomorrow. They sell it because of the nervousness of people. Because of the nervousness of people. People are nervous. AAA sends out, you can join their insurance company. You pay $30 million or something like that. If you're in a car accident, if you're dismembered, if you're in the car accident, you lose your limbs, cholila. So they pay you so much money, but only a car accident, and only on every second Tuesday of the month, something like that. Why do people buy the thing? They buy it because they're nervous. They're nervous. I'm not against insurance, don't get me wrong. But all these scams, people are nervous. It's natural to be nervous. Bitachon handles with that nervousness. It restores at least your intelligence. If you stop the nervousness, you can at least think straight. You know what I mean? Think straight like 1935 the house was built. Nothing's happened to the house until 2017. So now it's going to happen. Why should it happen? What's up is it'll happen in 2017? I don't get it. So at least you can think straight. Otherwise the nervousness, it might break, it might break, it might break. They told you so, and it makes you nervous, it might break. So Bitachon at least counteracts the nervousness. So that's That's what he spoke about till now. Not being nervous in life, not being concerned, not this. Fine. Now he went to something altogether different. Let's call it theological. That a person who connects with the Bar Shalom, something basically happens to him. He develops qualities of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Certain qualities. Now we find that it's a mitzvah to develop the qualities of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it says, V'alachta b'drachav, you shall follow his ways. So it says, Mahu afato. Just like he does this, so you should do that. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter says, Mahu rachum, afato rachum. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter took a lot of other things that are not spoken about in Chazal, Mahu rachum, afato rachum, and gives a few examples. But he took a lot of things and he developed it just from Mahu afato. For instance, it says in Chazal that there's a tzibur davening, the Bar Shalom comes to the shul before the tzibur comes, Gemara and Brachos. If there's supposed to be a minyan at 7:45, the Bar Shalom is there before 7:45. Yeah, he's before 7:45. So Yisrael learned from that you should be the first one to be at any time there's a meeting for Davar Shabbat. So you should be the first one who arrives, not the last one who arrives. A lot of people, they like to be the last one who arrives. They arrive with a lot of pizzazz. They walk in, everybody says, "Oh, Valdik is here," and they get a little shock. It's like, "Ooh, Valdik." So it feels very good to come in last. If you're sitting there first, it's just you and the bowl of peanuts in the middle of the table. You come in later, and you make an entrance. It's called making an entrance. So Rabbi Yisrael used to come first. Why? Because Bar Shalom comes first. So he learned from Mahu Afato. So the Alter says, Rabbi Yisrael's a talmid, the Alter. The Alter says that when you attach yourself to the Bar Shalom, more is happening than just you're imitating him. Something is coming from him into you. He's giving you some kind of special kedusha or special power. I know exactly, it doesn't say precisely what it is. I don't know if he knows precisely what it is. But something is coming into you. And the Rebbeinu Shalom, he says, is eternal, is nitzchi. And you're developing that nitzchius yourself. You're becoming a nitzchi. Something's coming into you. You're becoming a nitzchi. Does me live forever? No, Adam doesn't live forever. Human beings don't live forever. But I don't know how to express it except to say that there's a foreverness in the everyday. There's a foreverness in every day. Our lives are bashert, how long it will be. But it becomes, every day becomes stretched out to forever. There's no rush to tomorrow. It reminds me very much of a chazal that says, that Klal Yisrael served the Rebbeinu Shalom Kol Yemei Yeshua, Kol Yemei HaZakenim, in all the days of the Zakenim, Sharichu Yom Acher Yeshua, who lived Arichas Yomim after Yeshua. So Gemara says, Kashan about them. Gemara says, Yom Herichu Yishon Lo Herichu. They had long days, but they didn't have long years. It doesn't mean to say they had long years. It says Harichu Shonim, it doesn't say. It says Harichu Yomim. What does it mean Harichu Yomim? Instead of Shonim. Shonim means you have long years, so they live 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, whatever you want, pick out the number. But Harichu Yomim is a different kind of thing. Harichu Yomim means the day is long enough. Because the person is so busy catching up with the world, and catching up with life, and taking care of all his insurance policies and all the other stuff. The day goes by, doesn't even know he lived that day. But the person who has Bitachon, he may take care of some of these things also. But he takes care in a different way, and a day passes by and does what happened to the day. Harichu Yom, they had long days. They had long days. That's what I mean by saying the nitzchius comes into the present. Long days. And that chal was Alter Shita. Alter Shita was throw away all your problems about tomorrow, live today. So what got to do with today? And the truth is a person only has today. How do you know how long you have? You're young, you're going to live forever, of course. But a person only has today, that's all you have. And don't give away your tomorrow for today. That's basically the sheet. The way he describes it, theologically, is that by being connected to Rebbeinu Shalom, there's a nitzchias in the person. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to understand. I don't understand it. But I hear from the outside, not I hear the be'etzim, but I hear from the outside, I hear there's something along the lines that we're speaking about. Something along the lines of, today becomes stretched. Today becomes stretched. It becomes long enough to live instead of running. You know, people run all their lives, you know what happens to them? They wake up one morning and say, look how old I am. Where did the years go? That's what happens. Like, where did the years go? How did I get to be this age? Just yesterday I was a kid running around. Today I'm an old person. Where did the years go? How did that happen? Yeah. It's because they didn't live those days. They were busy preparing for the next day, busy catching up from yesterday with leftover. They didn't have the menuchas hanefesh of Bitachon. And the way he says it, they were not attached to the nitzchias. They were not attached to the Rebbeinu Shalom, so they never became a certain degree of eternal inside themselves. Never became. That's what I don't know. The upteich, the word is a difficult upteich, but it's a gewaldig l'maisa. The concept is gewaldig. Okay.
She was only talking about certain types of like these great, crazy, funny insurances. What about regular insurance? Why
I said I'm not against insurance. I'm careful to say that. There's a big machlokes about insurance altogether because maybe Hagaon Bitachon really is. They say the Chofetz Chaim was against insurance. Rabbi Moshe said you should buy insurance. There was that question is an old question. It's not a new one. But the Chofetz Chaim said not to buy insurance because But in Chaim, why so we feel Chaim would buy insurance? Life insurance, fire insurance. He brings about the Sefer called Michlei Chofetz Chaim from his son. He speaks about it. He speaks about fire insurance in particular. He speaks about why fire insurance and so he tells over a story that they sold fire insurance in Radin, and Chofetz Chaim said was against it, but people bought it anyway. And then there was a big fire; many houses were burnt. And the people who had bought insurance had made good money on it, and they helped out the people who didn't have any insurance. So the second time when the insurance people came around to sell insurance, not all the insurance peddlers, so Chaim was silent. But he doesn't say he ever agreed with it. But he was silent. Maybe he held it wouldn't be a skabel or whatever. We don't know what exactly he held. But the first time he said in the fair is not to take. And we asked Rabbi about taking life insurance, and he also said, it sounds like he was very, very skeptical about taking it. He said, as long as your family has you to support them, so you have a schus, that supporting the family might be the reason they're staying alive. If they have plenty of money after you go, maybe nobody needs you around anymore, so you'll go. As he said. But the Meister developed by his life insurance, and there's, in Rabbi Moshe's Shuvas, please find for the key, what's it called, Yad Moshe, look up under insurance. He has a very interesting show on the subject about life insurance. Remember talking. Please do, okay? Give us a report tomorrow. I'll watch it.